Hello, hello, all. Thank you for joining us again on the Almost Brothers podcast. Hey, will you do us a favor? If this podcast has meant something to you and encouraged you, will you consider becoming a monthly supporter? You could do $3, $5, $8, or $10 a month. What this does is this helps financially support the podcast so that we can continue to put out content and help better serve you. So if you would, down in the show notes, you can click the link, support, and become a monthly member. We love you. New episode coming your way.
You say you got a headache or you are a headache?
Where's that cricket button?
What's that button at? Oh, fresh shaved today?
Yeah, I've got the thing now.
Is it waterproof?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's in the shower.
Like
Yeah,
that
just
little
shoot, yeah.
rechargeable deal?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one of them balding.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't get as close as a razor, but
It
Convenient.
does the trick, man.
it does it.
Yeah.
So would you have to like use two mirrors with a razor to get the back?
No, I just felt like I feel.
Oh, okay. Just.
Oh, that's blood.
just wait. What is that? Is that?
Well, I had. Actually, we are recording.
Yeah. Go ahead. Continue.
Nope, I'm not telling that story on myself. when
No,
we're
he
recording.
said nope.
No.
Not gonna happen. Y'all will hold it against me.
Yeah, 100% you'd hold it against me. But no, I when I do it with a razor, I have to like lean forward to get to flatten that out back there.
Oh man, that's
Pull the skin back.
Yeah, because it's rolls.
that's messed up.
Hey, I'm on the journey to lose weight, so
That's right.
Yeah, you already said that. I'm gonna stay consistent.
I have been.
Have you?
Yes.
Ever since that episode, you've been consistent.
No.
Exactly right.
Easy.
You got to start back Monday.
The
anyway.
last
Yeah,
few
right.
weeks.
That's why I
last-
always. Oh, we'll do it Monday. We'll do it.
Last few weeks I've been good.
That's what me and Jamie talked about today. Like we're gonna start back Monday.
Yeah, every Monday.
Yep.
And then you're going to like purposely eat more Sunday,
Yeah.
Saturday, Friday.
Yeah, to be able to say, all right, Monday we're gonna get on. We're gonna get on it tomorrow. But we really are gonna get on it tomorrow.
Heard this a lot. I don't know.
Like every single time we talk. That's messed up. But does it make you feel more unhealthy, the fact that Justin brought a gallon of water?
It's a
Just
half
being
gallon.
around Justin makes me feel
Right,
unhealthy.
right.
It's like,
Dang,
no,
man, I gotta
I'm not there yet.
Hey,
I
man,
feel seriously underdeveloped.
you might think it's because of health reasons, but it's because I suck at talking and I get so dried out
Yeah.
so quick. So I'm like, it's constantly like
Just
if
help-
you hear
help
on the
them.
podcast, you'll hear like what sounds like an ocean like every 20 minutes. And that's just me gulping my water.
Like, they have a baptistry going on? Like, no, just to get a drink of
Who's
water.
bathing in the background.
Yeah,
Just me.
yeah. Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Almost Brothers podcast. Thank you for joining us again on this beautiful. Why am I saying beautiful? Like they could see
Yeah, it's so
what the
beautiful.
weather
So beautiful.
looked like today, but
It was a beautiful day.
yeah, it was. It was really nice,
Yeah, it
and
was.
a normal day, not beautiful with
Right.
115.
Man, the wind's been crazy
Yes.
last
Yeah.
week.
A
Yeah,
little wind here.
yeah.
Yes.
It blew like part of your porch off.
It did. Yeah, like
Wow.
the siding underneath the roof just gone.
Brutal.
Tore a gutter off. Yeah, it was fun.
Good times.
It was-
But like you said, at least you found where the raccoons
Yeah.
were getting in at.
yeah, we did. There's some rotten boards up there that were covered up by the rain gutter, so it worked out.
There it is.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's God's
all
plan.
That's right.
Hey,
just
fix
like-
this.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me get it out of the way for you.
Yeah. Well, on today's episode, we've got Justin, one of the hosts, the host. We call it the host.
Gee,
Oh,
Hostess
the dudes.
with the mostest.
I wish I would have. Man, I
I
should
do
have.
like hostess.
I should have pulled that off of theirs and put it on one of ours so we could do their intro music. The host of the Dudes in Christ podcast.
Yeah, man.
No,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah,
How's it
yeah.
go? How's the intro go? Yeah. Dudes in Christ
Yeah,
podcast.
that's-
Cast.
Fancy.
Oh, yeah. It's a fancy.
I took and said that into my phone and put it in the app and put some weird effect on it. I'm like, well, that's good enough.
I like it. Hey,
It works.
heck yeah. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. I can't remember where we got ours. We got it some free, like, know,
Thought that was you
download
tearing
or
the
something like that.
guitar
Oh,
out.
absolutely not. Yeah, that's what we talked about though. We're gonna get Sean and Tyler to
Yeah.
do us an
Okay.
intro and write a song for us. So
Yep.
That'd be awesome.
yep. So how you doing?
Doing good, man. Peachy.
Yeah,
Just
how's
like
life?
we talked about, right? It's
Yeah.
great. It's doing good.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
But no, it's going good. It's things are kicking back up, starting to get busy, which I'm like constantly busy. I don't think I'm ever not busy.
Right. Yeah.
But I like it like that way. I don't like a lot of idleness. I get bored easy. Like,
Right.
so I'm just, let's just take on this whole new adventure. Like, have a great time.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's sometimes you have to shed those things when priority happens, you know, work happens, life happens, ministry happens, whatever it is. But yeah, man, just trying to stay, being the best I can and staying positive about everything. You know?
Oh yeah.
What's
And
up?
are you still doing like the competitions and stuff?
Yeah, so I just had my last one was, it's been not long ago, probably a month and a half ago now, St. Louis. Everything went really well. It's probably the best meet I've had.
Nice.
I placed first in my weight class and third overall of the whole meet. And that's the first time I've had like top 10 at all. So it was pretty neat. And then come after that, I'm playing knockout of all things with the youth, and one Wednesday jumped up and you know, like I haven't played ball in forever.
Right.
Anyway, we're just doing free throw line, you know, short. Like I missed free throw and I was like, man, I'm just gonna put it back in real quick. So I hurried up, dunked it real quick. I was like, oh man, that felt good.
Yeah.
So I'm playing for like 5 minutes, kind of doing it a few times, and jumped one time, hurt my knee pop, and like had to limp
Oh.
off. So like yesterday was my first day back in the gym, and like I still can't. You know, I'm not squatting, not deadlifting.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, have the best season of your life and then it comes kind of crashing down. But that's kind of
Yeah.
story of how life happens sometimes, right? So
Yeah.
Well, let's pretend that all of our listeners don't know what this meet and competition is.
yeah.
What is it that you do?
So I am a power lifter. So probably the unhealthiest sport of all. The goal is to get big and fat as possible. Not necessarily, but it kind of seems to happen that way. So anyway, we're competing on 3 lifts, be the squat, bench, and deadlift. And at a competition, basically you get 3 attempts on each movement, and you total the 3 up, whichever your best 3 are, and kind of
Like the weight of it. Oh,
yep,
okay.
Yep. You'll calculate the weight, and there'll be a formula based on like your body weight, and it'll give you a score, if you
Yeah.
will. And then, so there's different weight classes, you know, that you have scores in. Then there's usually the overall top score will kind of take like the best lifter at the meet. So yeah, powerlifting, it's
Very
it's
cool.
a small
That's
kind of
crazy,
community
yeah.
deal, but it's awesome. It gives you, you know, as Mike knows, we were, you know, all about basketball when
Yeah.
we were younger, and after, you know, high school, quit playing, you kind of lose that competitive drive, if you will.
Yeah.
And so, you know, just talking about getting healthier and losing weight, it kind of gives you a goal to
Yeah.
kind of keep you accountable for, you know, if I can't just, I guess I could, but it gives you a reason to show up on those days you really don't want to show up. You know,
Right,
like,
yeah.
oh, I have a meet in 4 weeks, I got to show up. You know,
Right.
I gotta-
Almost like having a deadline. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, I've really
Yeah.
got to do this.
So it's kind of helped me stay more active and just, you know, gives me something to really shoot for, you know, still have that competitive edge. So
Yep. Better than my deadline of I'm gonna start Monday.
yeah,
You know,
Definitely
like
better
an
than that
actual
one, yeah.
an actual thing coming up instead of just a, you know, man-made like, oh, I'm gonna start Monday. I failed. Next Monday for
Yeah.
sure. Next Monday.
For sure.
We
You
are
haven't even
starting.
gotten
We're
past
starting
this
tomorrow.
Monday
We're
yet.
starting tomorrow, though. Okay, we're starting tomorrow.
We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I say that, and then this afternoon we ate fins and feathers,
Yeah.
and the whole time we're sitting there just stuffing our face. It was just like
start Monday.
Darn diddy darn darn.
that's how I felt the whole time. Just like, like we'll start tomorrow. I promise. Just bring more food, please.
Anytime you overeat, just say, yeah, I'm bulking, you know.
Right, carb loading. That's all it is. Oh yeah, yeah. So what we're going to be talking about in this episode is just talking about how, you know, kind of in all aspects of our life, not even just the Christian faith, but just all aspects of our life. Somebody asks you, "Hey, how are you doing?" What's our answer? Oh, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm fine.
Good. It's
Wha-
it's either that or you don't have enough time for me to
Right,
you know,
right,
it's
to actually break it down,
But
yeah.
you're still getting out of that, like, oh yeah, I'm good.
Yep. Why do we seem to want to go that route and just, even though we may be going through stuff. And what kind of sparked this goes along with the message from this morning is just how Adam and Eve were in the garden and God said, hey, where are you?
Yeah.
And we think many times that physically, we know God knew exactly where they were at, but he wasn't asking them like, where are you physically? He's asking you, where are you spiritually? Like
Right.
now I feel you distancing yourself from me. But I think we ask each other that. And one, we don't mean it when we ask somebody that,
Yeah.
but also we say, oh, I'm fine. I'm good. And really we're not.
Right.
Like I believe, it's so important for us to lean on each other when we're going through stuff, but we refuse to even open up to each other and say, hey, I'm not doing very well. I'm not doing good. Like I'm hurting. I'm broken. Why do y'all think that is?
And men are especially bad about this because, God forbid we be vulnerable at any point in our lives because we're taught to do that, right? We're taught, well, men are supposed to keep it in. Men are supposed to be the strong ones and all this. Well, we hurt too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know why we just can't let people in, let people know what we struggle with, let people know what we got going on. I mean, I don't have that problem. I'll tell anybody what I'm
Just open
struggling
up
with.
the random
Get you a chair, buddy.
lady at the supermarket checking you out. How you doing? Well, ma'am, let me tell you. She was like, I'm just trying to scan you and get you out of here. Come on. Like, I didn't really.
Well, and that's the flip side of the coin, right? Don't ask the question if you don't want to know the answer.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't really want to know how I am, why are you asking?
Yeah.
Out of politeness.
Do you think it may be a lack of just areas to where it's open to say, hey, let's sit down and talk about, what we're all dealing with? I think that's a big problem too.
I think going to me back to the original question, like why do we even ask it? I find myself sometimes guilty of asking it, and maybe just in passing, like there wouldn't even be time for it's just a second nature thing, or it's I'm socially awkward type thing, like don't know what else to say, like hey how's it going, bro? Like,
right,
okay, see ya.
Yeah.
So and then the other aspect is I'm sometimes cautious of telling certain ones, not certain individuals, but why are they asking? Like, do they truly care? Are they just are they ready to go gossip what you got going on?
Right,
That's
what I mean?
Good. So I think it's important to have some, whether it be a spiritual friend, family, or just close friends that you can truly trust with your feelings before you just go pouring them out onto everybody. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then there's that surface area where like, hey, what's going on at the supermarket? Like, hey, it just kind of sucks, whatever. But then there's like the root of the actual problem. Like you need to realize who you're trusting with that information, if that makes any sense. But,
yeah. Just watching your circle. That's so important. I think that it's especially like you said for men, because it seems like we got to get through it, and I've got to fight through it, and I've got to be tough, and I can't open up. I think that's so important to have you a small group of friends, like you said, where you can go to and say, hey, I'm struggling. Like I really need you to help lift me up today. And I think that we don't put enough importance on that.
Well, when we started Men of Honor, Monday nights at 6:00 at Remnant Church.
Shut up. Plug.
But when we started that was one of the things that I laid down as part of the groundwork is we have to be able to trust each other.
Yeah.
Right. In this circle. So if I find out that, Joe went and told Bob's business, Joe would no longer be allowed to, he wouldn't be welcome at our group.
Right.
And it's a trust thing. And you have to be able to trust that circle in order to be vulnerable, because if the one time that happens, that's it. You're not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And that, if that trust gets betrayed, it's a horrible, horrible scar that it takes, some people years to get over.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause I mean, even, there's things that I struggle with that I just don't feel right going to my wife and being like, hey, I'm struggling, because it could just be something about how we're wired as men that even if I went to her, she just wouldn't understand, just because, you're not a man. You just don't understand it. So I think that's so important to have, you some good buddies that you can go to and just say, man, dude, I'm really, really fighting it this week, just with everything on me. And I don't know why this past week I've really been on a kick of just watching, y'all know the band Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And just watching Chester and how, like, even his last few interviews leading up to his suicide, people seem so happy. Like all these guys that end up, committing these crazy things against themselves seem so happy on the lead up to it. It's like, And I wonder how many times somebody came to them and just said, man, hey, how's it going?
Right.
And how many times they said, oh, I'm good.
Right.
When really we're not. Like none of us are. You know, none of us just have it all together. So I think it's so important to find somebody that you can not only confide in, but somebody to get good counsel from. You know, the Bible says, you know, there's a wisdom in a multitude of counsel, and there's a reason for that, you know, to be able to lean on. And Justin, what do you think on the subject of people that we lean on that may not be in our everyday life? Because I think that sometimes we go to people that we're around all the time, so they automatically have a preconceived notion,
Right.
you know, to what we're going through, and they automatically want to kind of jump in. I think it's important to have people outside of our life.
Absolutely. I think, you know, some of your best counsel, like you said, is people that aren't, I don't want to say picking you apart, but they don't know every step you've taken.
Yeah.
Because like you said, a lot of times that'll dictate their answer. Like, you know, I'm struggling with this. Well, yesterday you were out hanging with so-and-so and you didn't need to be with so-and-so.
Right.
Where that is a true fact, you know, that your problem or whatever you're dealing with might have happened before that, but that's the last thing they remember. So I think an outside source, that might not be the right word to say, but somebody that, I use this illustration a lot. I'm a terrible friend sometimes because I'm liable to talk to you 3 days straight and you might not hear nothing from me from a month from now. But
I'm the same way. Yeah.
Another month from now though, like something might come up and, you know, just something powerful might happen in meeting. It's not that, you know, you didn't trust them in the day to day, or you just didn't have a conversation. You know, we're truly busy people these days.
Yeah.
We live in a cell phone world where everything's at their fingertips, and that just causes us to be busy because now we don't have to wait for things to happen, or we don't have to wait till we get home to contact Richard or whatever. We just, hey, let me text him real quick.
Right.
So, and you know, I think there's important to have both. It's important to have like your day-to-day buddy or your day-to-day family friendship, things like that you conversate with. And then there's almost that, whether it be like a spiritual father type or just a spiritual brother aspect away from your day-to-day that can say, hey, you know, what's truly going on, and let's see if we can figure this issue out. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I do. I try to go to. I've got pastors that I go to that have no idea what my day-to-day looks like, have no idea, but they're a huge part of my life just because, you know, they know some about me, or if I've grown up with them and they've moved off or whatever it may be. But that's who I go to for, you know, hey, this is what the church is like. What do you think about this, and this?
Right.
Because they can give that clear perspective, you know, and a lot of them have been doing this for a long time. So I'm able to go to them and get some wisdom and be like, oh, cool. Okay. Because everybody going into a conversation with a brother, with a friend, with a spouse, whatever it may be, will automatically have their own bias one way or another.
Yeah, and I just recently started counseling, and it's not even Christian counseling. It's totally outside of everything, but it's professional counseling. Just, you know, some stuff that's been coming up in my mind that I'm dealing with from my childhood, you know, that sort of thing, and it's weird to talk about that stuff with strangers, but then again, it's also a little easier.
Yeah,
that's what I was about to say. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a complete stranger than it is, you know, maybe your family or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's, you know, because there's going to be a lot of things we talk about that maybe I don't want everybody to know, you know, right away that I'm dealing with. So it's just there is value in that, in going outside your own circle.
Yeah. And do you think that mindset of society has made you feel that way? Like, I feel awkward sharing how I'm that. It's when you think about it from the outside, it seems like a crazy thing. Like, I feel weird sharing how I feel. Mm-hmm. That shouldn't feel weird. That should be something that, you know, we're like, oh, okay, this is good to get to talk to somebody about how I feel. But I think society has made it to where we feel ashamed for feeling a certain way. Yeah. You know, we feel ashamed for struggling, you know, maybe it's mental health, whatever it may be. We feel bad for, especially as Christians. Yeah. We think, oh, I shouldn't have to deal with any kind of, you know, I think we've talked about this before. A lot of Christian circles, they want to shy away from the mental health aspect of, like, it's a real thing. Like, people really struggle with depression. I know the cool thing, the end thing now, where everybody's got anxiety and everybody's depressed and all these things. But it really is something that people deal with, and we need to address it. We can't just sweep it under the rug of, well, just read your Bible more and pray about it, and then everything will be great. Sometimes that's not the answer. Sometimes there's something else going on. That being able to share that, being able to unload that burden onto somebody. There's a reason why it says there's a wisdom in a multitude of counsel, to be able to get that stuff out and get multiple aspects from it. And I just think that we've gone so far the other way, to where people try to hide this stuff and keep it on the inside instead of sharing it with one another and actually meeting the issue head on.
Right.
And it grows root, and it grows something on the inside of us that at the end of the day, it ends up being something so huge that could have been taken care of if we'd only sat down with somebody and said, hey, even our spouse, even my wife, there's things that, that we deal with. It's like, man, why didn't I just get this out in the first place?
Right.
Instead of holding on to this for 2 months and then blowing up all of a sudden on something that you didn't put the clothes in the washer. Now blow up, not because you didn't but because of something that happened so long ago that I didn't share with you. Like, I just don't understand why that's so hard for us.
Sound like my wife talking to me. She'll say that all the time. It's like, why, you blow up on something, you just sit and let it stew. And I don't know why we do that sometimes. I don't try to do that, but I think it again goes back to the kind of the culture that, we're kind of raised in. Me and Mike could probably definitely attest to this. When we were growing up, Nintendo was it was a cool thing. So instead of being out and spending time with family, I was in in my own room playing video games for hours on end, hours on end, not getting that personal relationship building quality at that age that you really should be.
Yeah.
So that kind of delayed the that aspect of just being able to openly talk to somebody.
That's good. Wow. Yeah.
I'm sitting here playing Smash Brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then we got to figure out in our 30s how to do that. And that can be difficult. That can be awkward. That can be, it can be hard to figure out. But I think it is important that we do figure it out, attempt to, whether it's awkward, weird, or whatever, just put it out there. And, as you kind of do it, just like anything else, it's going to get easier and easier. Just like podcasting, when I first started, talked to Mike, and he kind of helped me get going. Those first couple of episodes, if I was to go back and listen, I was like, man, that's
right.
That's rough. So, but it's just being able to get your feelings out in the open, being able to deal with it, and just having that discipline, because it is a discipline of communicating, whether it be your spouse, your friends, your circle, whoever it is. So yeah, it's definitely important in my opinion.
Man, I think that's good. You hit on something, because, we talk about depression and anxiety running so rampant, especially in our young people now. I think you hit right on part of what it is this technology, video games, your phone, these things that are great things to have. But yeah, I think they lack that personal, especially, 2.5 years of COVID made it even worse. So now all these kids, they not only don't know how to get their feelings out, don't know how to communicate whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
We see it all the time in the school system we've got kids that are in high school right now that will not talk. Will not openly, get up in front of the class, like, will not talk. You'll say their name and their friend will have to say here for them.
That's crazy.
Yes. And it's like, how can we expect that person to share, and they can't even get that out because they haven't had it. I think that's so good.
We had that youth on that trip one time that she wouldn't even order her own food at McDonald's.
Yeah.
She's just like, came to Mike. He's like, can you order my food for me?
Yeah. I'm
What?
like, what do you mean? I'm like, what, you have to go to the back? She's like, no, I'm scared.
Yeah.
To order your food. It's like, you're at McDonald's. Like, what in the world?
Starved to death.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are they ever going to even with their parents, their friends, whatever it may be, share, hey, I'm struggling with fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Like that would have to be such a daunting, scary thing for them to do, because they just don't do it. And we don't even teach that in school. We don't teach public speaking or anything like that in school.
I went through some management training one time that one of the things they talked about managers nowadays having to deal with is parents coming on interviews with their children.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I can't imagine hiring somebody who brought their parents to an interview.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can't even get through that, how are you going to work every day?
Right. How are you going to deal with
possible.
working in a team?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what you look at all the statistics. That's what it is even interviews, like, very open-ended questions. These young people, 19, 20, 21-year-olds are answering, yes, no, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you going to function? Like, come on. And I think it's going to come to a head when all these kids graduate and get out into the real world and they realize, like I said, we don't even teach that in high school. Like, why we're still teaching algebra 4.
Don't get me started on algebra.
Algebra 4, but we're not, like, simple things that you're going to need your entire life.
Taxes, that'd be a great.
Learning how to do your taxes, how to balance your checkbook, how to change a tire, like things that you're going to need in your life. But, no, we're out teaching, hey, make sure you memorize the 50 states.
Well, that's
right.
When we start our after school programs, that's some of the stuff I want to focus on, showing these kids, having somebody come in and show them, how to check your oil and change a tire and balance a checkbook. And I mean, just simple, basic.
I can't even do that no more.
Oh, dude, don't even, I promise you. Dude, okay.
We got to speed Richard up to online banking.
I have online banking.
So you talked about embarrassing, having a shit.
We don't need to bring it up again.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. My bad. So this was maybe a year ago. I went up to pay electric, and that's what I'm used to doing. Just do it online.
Right.
I was like, crap, I got to go pay electric. So I went up there, didn't have any cash on me, but I had the checkbook. Oh, bro, I had to Google how to write a check in line. I'm panicking. There's like one person in front of me. I'm like, oh God. I'm like,
what's this for at the bottom?
I'm like, oh no. I'm like, wait, where do I sign? Like, do I sign? I'm like, crap. So I did. I had to Google a picture of a check and then just write my information in it. That's a true story. That's a true story.
Well, letters. Tristan has no idea how to mail a letter.
Right. Yep.
I don't think I do.
Where does my name go?
Yeah, it's been a while. And like, how many stamps do you need? Are stamps even a thing? Like,
they're like 75 cents.
Yeah,
on Amazon or what?
Yeah, right. And it's. I think we're going to find more of that of people not able to do just everyday things.
Yeah.
Because
be a problem.
They've been locked up so much and kind of to yourself so much. Because I was the same way. It was video games and movies, man. That was my best friends. And I was the same growing up and had to learn how to even just speak in public, to people. Because, I mean, it even still hits me now, every now and then, to where my nerves just get so crazy, It's like,
the question becomes, and y'all can answer this at your leisure. Why do we as parents fail our children in allowing them to get to that point?
Because it's easy.
Yeah.
That's the easy answer.
Oh, yeah. Because that's how it is just in my, because I'm always so on the fence with it, especially electronics. Because, I mean, Bubby's all in on, and now Sissy's starting to get there, but, he's got an Oculus and a computer and an Xbox and a Switch and, kind of everything. And we don't even do you can only be on it this time to this time. Like, as long as his chores are done, grades are up, stuff like that, we kind of let him, go for it. I know you love it. I know it's something that you're into. And I think that I know that I want to start kind of giving limits on it, only a certain amount of hours, but because even me and Jamie was talking about this, we're on the way to Cape. You open doors and allow your kids access to the entire world. We monitor what he's looking at on his phone, what he's watching on YouTube, stuff like that. But she's like, well, I'd really like to just know YouTube at all with him. And I'm like, I feel like you can go to two different extremes where you just, go at it and do whatever you want to do. But the other one, if you're so strict on them, what's going to happen is they're going to do it and they're going to go all in with it.
Right.
So I feel like you want them to be able to be knowledgeable on this stuff, to be able to navigate a computer.
Yeah.
Because I fell into that trap. My first day of college, I didn't know how to write a paper on a computer because I'd never had one growing up. I don't ever want my kids not to know how to do something, especially when it comes to electronics, because, I mean, we're getting further and further into the electronic
that's a necessary
age.
Evil. I mean, it's just to get, not necessarily, what platform or whatever, but it's almost a necessary evil that they learn, how to navigate those things, because that's the way, I mean, every, even you could say now, but even 10 years for sure, every job out there is going to involve some type of electronic device that cause you, that you do your day to day with. So, they have to learn it at some point. But yeah, like you said, I think there's a happy medium you got to fall for. You don't want to necessarily just say, here, go do whatever. But there's also like, man, I don't know. I don't know the answer. I don't know.
It's tough, man. Which I know with him, we try to lock everything down to where he could spend a lot of hours on it, but we know he's only able to get to certain things, so we try to kind of close certain doors.
You get that other extreme. And I know people that their kids are completely sheltered. Like, when they get out of the house, they're not going to know how to live life.
Yeah.
They're not going to have a clue.
Yep. And we graduated with some that when they got out, they went buck wild.
Yeah.
Because they had been, sheltered and looked over. And as soon as they got that freedom, they went, whoa. It's like, wow, this is crazy. And I think that, you have to find that balance between the two. But also, he's getting a lot better because we're making him step out a lot more and speak to people. So like even today when we ate lunch, we're starting our diet tomorrow. We're starting our diet tomorrow.
Monday.
Yes, Monday. Yeah. We don't order for him anymore.
Right. Yeah.
You're gonna speak up. You're gonna look the waitress in it. You're gonna say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, sir, and you're gonna tell him what you want. Speak up, and he did so good today. So now we start seeing him step out because he's been like that too. Just super shy and he'll whisper or whatever. So now we're making him step out and start to get to that mode of tell us how you feel, because he's the same. He'll shut down, like he'll start crying, like something happened and he'll start crying like, Bubby, what's the matter? Nothing. No, let's sit here. Let's get it out. It's okay, man. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be hurting. If, I'll hurt his feelings and he won't just directly come up to me and say anything. He'll just like, kind of start tearing up. I'm like, what's up, bud? Oh, you just hurt my... Yes, open up. Like, tell me when I do these things and let me explain why I got onto you, but also let me apologize for hurting your feelings. And that way, get those feelings out and not just bottle them up. I don't ever want that to happen. Even though a lot of men still deal with that.
Yeah.
Can't get it out.
Without a doubt.
And women too. I mean, we're not forgetting y'all. Come on now. We love y'all.
We are. No,
but
we're not.
Just...
we don't care about your problems.
Well, Jamie gets bad at it too. She does that word.
Yeah.
Well, what's the matter? Nothing.
Oh.
Tell your face there's nothing. Come on.
Jennifer is the same way. It's just like, what is going on? Because that's the only, it's with any relationship in your life, communication is going to be huge. So if somebody asks you, and comes right back to the original question, if somebody asks you in that environment, what's going on, what's wrong, open up.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Yeah.
Because, nothing is going to get resolved if you hold all that in.
Yeah. Especially with somebody you trust, like just open up.
Yeah.
Yep. I hate it when I don't want to say it because it's only going to make you mad. I don't care. Say it.
Let's deal
I'd
with
rather,
that.
right. I'd rather us argue it out and figure it out than you just bottle it up and now you feel worse.
Right.
I don't want that. I'd rather let's take this on together. Like, let's do this together.
My wife will always hit me with that. Like, there's something going on. And a lot of times she just goes ahead and tells me, if you ever met my wife, she will not, she'll tell you what she's thinking. But, there's those rare occasions that she'll just, like you said, tell your face that something's not wrong. But she'll just hit me with that. Oh, you should know. Like,
you start to panic when you do that. Like, oh no.
I'm like looking back at my schedule. Like, what did I do yesterday? Like, is it somebody's birthday? Is it your birthday?
Is it our anniversary?
What did I do? But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's because I'm older. I will not play that game.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to play the 20 questions. What did I do wrong game?
Yeah.
If you want to open up to me and tell me, great. If you want me to guess, no.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. It's like, I'm not. It was a One Tree Hill episode where,
Of course there was.
greatest show of all time.
The goat.
The goat. Where Haley gets called in the principal's office. She's like, "Well, do you know what you did?" She's like, "Nope," and I'm not going to start admitting stuff. Like that's how it is. Like you should know what you did. I don't, and I'm not going to just start naming stuff. So you might as well just tell me.
I have no idea, officer. I was not speeding.
Yeah. You know what I pulled you over for? Nope, no idea. I had my seatbelt on. I got my insurance. I wasn't speeding. I didn't do anything. What'd you do? You were speeding. Okay.
Yeah.
I was. You got me. You got me. Yeah. So what else? Y'all got anything else on your heart, man? How are you doing?
I'm actually a little nervous about my counseling, and I'm a little I'm struggling with the diet. I mean, I'm doing it, but it's hard.
Yeah. It's rough, man.
I had a piece of cake yesterday, and I felt bad.
Guilty.
Okay, I had 2 pieces, but that's not
The bake sale, the bake sale stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I seen some of that, man. I was like,
boy.
It was really good.
Man.
It looked really good.
Yeah.
There was
But I've been doing good about it though.
Yeah. Did you get it all out of the house?
No, it's still there. That's
You got to get it
part of
out,
it,
bro.
But
You
see,
got to
that's
throw it
that's
out.
the thing. I'm having to do it without. I mean, that temptation is going to be there
Yeah.
everywhere I'm at. It's
Yeah.
going to be there. So I've got to learn how to take that on me.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody else is eating that. I don't have to.
So do you completely stay away from sweets, or how do you?
So right now I'm just I have been eating like just whatever, but I started today. one day.
Oh, beat me to
Monday
the
start
punch.
working for me, big dog. Yeah. So last week I was traveling in Memphis, and man, we like had a company credit card, so I flat used that mug. You know? We ate and ate and ate, but yeah. So I'd like to lose a little bit of weight before summer because being hot and fat at the same time is miserable.
Not so fun.
Yes.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
So I'm gonna try to slim down. So for me, I've learned that I can't keep things really accessible
Yeah.
until I've kind of done that where it's habitual. Like I'm like just sticking. Like after I go a couple months, clean, if you will,
Right.
just not eating junk, I can have that in the house, and I don't even mind to throw like a sweet in every once in a while. But I have to be careful because that is my it's my thing is Little
Yeah.
Debbie's. That's kind of that was my nickname, Big Debbie, for a while. So so yeah, I have to be very careful, and because that's just. It's an addiction like anything else.
Yeah.
Sugar. People have alcoholic problems or drug problems, things like that, and so to get rid of them, what do? They just avoid it.
Right.
Whereas food issues, you can't avoid food.
Right.
We have
Everywhere.
we have to have it to live. So it's just having that discipline to make the right choices, and then sticking to it.
That's one of those things that nobody talks about being an addiction.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
is.
It
It's
is.
one of the worst because it's like you said, it's everywhere, and it's accepted.
Yep.
Like fat guys are just laughed at. You're
Right.
fat. Yeah, but I've got heart disease, and I'm,
Right.
I can't run up a flight of stairs without nearly dying.
Right.
Yep.
So it is a problem.
Still the number one killer in the world. Heart disease.
I don't have heart disease.
Yeah, you don't actually have heart disease. Yeah, but
But it does kill me to go a flight of stairs.
it does kill me
It's a
going up
stress
a flight of
test.
stairs. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you look at like the top several diseases, like heart disease, diabetes, things like that. All that is food related. There is some dispositions to like being
Right.
diabetic and salt sensitive, things like that. But for the most part, they are a byproduct of how we eat and how we
Right.
take care of ourselves. And we're given this temple to take care of. And
Right.
I'm not saying that you have to hit every day perfect and never have that sweet treat or we mess up just like anything else that we struggle with.
Right.
We mess up, and for me, I realized that I use if I was dealing with stress or anything like that, I would eat to combat that
Right.
instead of dealing with the issue of what's causing the stress.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really common problem. Like you said, we don't talk about it. We don't talk about the sin of gluttony or things like that. We talk,
Come on.
We
Yep.
talk about what are you.
We point at the ones that don't affect us.
yeah.
Like, oh my goodness, look over there.
There was this
That's good.
story of two like biblical philosophers coming up, and they were going to meet for the first time. He walked up to his house, knocked on his door, and the guy was smoking a cigarette or smoking a cigar. He's like, I can't believe that, you know, a man of God like you would just, you know, sit there and smoke that cigar. And then he pointed back at him. Dude was just severely overweight. He's like, I can't believe a man of God would, like, you know.
Yep.
So it's easy to point fingers, but it is, you know, it's just another thing. Take care of yourself, because we only get one chance at this, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, that's why I talked last week. You know, people will point fingers at somebody smoking weed and go home and smoke 2 packs of cigarettes.
Right.
Look,
Yep.
look now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not an issue till it's an issue.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, this has been awesome, man. Give them a shout out. Y'all definitely go check out Dudes in Christ podcast. Comes out every Monday, right?
Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
So we record 7 a.m. Before church, and it's easy for me while we're out and got everything out, throw it out, and it's there. I don't have to worry about it later, because I'll get busy and forget.
Right. Yeah.
Check us out on channel 12? Is that right?
I swear that old lady, she was like, "Are y'all on channel 11?" Like, oh my goodness gracious, no, ma'am, we are not. Yeah, she's like,
That proves he listens. Right there.
so funny. Yeah, channel 12.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but just an amazing group of guys. Not only, you know, because I've been friends with at least a couple of them for a long time, but just an amazing group of guys, man. It's awesome. The small part that I was able to kind of help get that going, man. It's been awesome to watch y'all. 'Cause not only do it, but stay consistent. We talked about it a few episodes ago. Not everybody does that.
Yeah.
You know, so that shows a lot of heart, and it shows that y'all did it for the right reasons, and y'all stick with it for the right reasons. So it's just awesome to watch y'all, and anything that this podcast can do to help that one. You
Likewise,
already know, man.
That's what I give you a shout out. Just every random, you know, you kind of helped us get started, and, you know, gave us some pointers. Do this, do that, and you know, it's just been something that you know, there's just like anything, just like how are we doing? There's in the podcast, you know, it felt like times like, man, it's just life's getting busy. You know, maybe we'll just, you know, take a little bit of break, and, you know, and it seems like when. The good thing about having 3 of us is it seems like if one of us is going a season, you know, in a season that it feels like we're in a valley or whatever, somebody else just steps up, kind of brings it on, and just getting back, you know, showing up, just like being filled up going to church or whatever, just being filled up in the podcast with, you know, whoever's, you know, dealing with a struggle. It just, you know, picks us back up, gets some momentum going, and, you know, that is, like you said, we have to realize what we're doing it for. It's not for our own personal gain. When I originally, you know, first had the idea of it, there was some things in there like, it's gonna help me because I'll stay in the Word more, things like that, which that is true. But, you know, that's as it begins to grow, and just, you know, over time you realize that it's not for you at all. It's for you know, it's for God's kingdom, and just, you know, helping that next person or however it comes about, and just trying to be sensitive to the Holy Spirit and see what it's saying, and you know, run with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You never know what you say that's going to affect somebody that day.
Yeah.
You know, somebody listen to your podcast and be like, wow, I'm dealing with that too. And
Yeah.
that, you know, that's why we do it. I want to be that voice for somebody.
Yeah. Especially when they're going through a very specific thing, like, all right, God,
Right.
I need you to speak to me. And then, like, they hear it through there, like, whoa.
Right.
Like, wow. Like, that's always the best thing. It's like, hey, that episode was for me. Like, that was right on time and
There
right on
is an
point.
old fat guy going to listen to this episode. He's going to be like, I'm about to get in shape.
Like,
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. We're starting Monday.
Start Monday.
Monday's a good day. Monday is a great day to start.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. If you don't have a home church, come see us at Remnant in Malden, Missouri. Service times are 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. on Sunday. And do us a favor, man, and go to your podcast platform. Give us a like, subscribe, and rate us, please. And share. God bless each and every one of you. Later.